what? Tom Brady's a fucking bitch. Fuck Tom Brady, yo. Fuck Tom Brady.
Where the bread at, Tom Brady? I need some bread.
You know what? Tom Brady's a fucking bitch. Fuck Tom Brady, yo. Fuck Tom Brady.
Where the bread at, Tom Brady? I need some bread.
You know what? Tom Brady's a fucking bitch. Fuck Tom. Tom Brady's a fucking bitch. Fuck Tom Brady, yo. Fuck Tom Brady.
Where the bread at, Tom Brady? I need some bread.
Hey, it's the Jimnasium with me, XFL Jim, joined by my co-host Chase, Lupine Fiasco, the Wolf of fucking Oakland, Yo Gabba Gabba Ghoul himself, Sessoms, my man. I missed you. It's been a week since we didn't do the Picks Porch, obviously, because everyone will know. It's been too long.
Yeah. I miss you too, XFL Jim, a.k.a. the whole Buffalo.
Damn right. And this is kind of a light week. We didn't have any college football. That's not true. We had Army Navy, which we will talk about. But
yeah,
wasn't a lot.
I didn't watch any of it.
Scene.
Let's talk about it. Yeah,
I watched all of it. Chase, we split the difference here. I watched all of the college football, being Army and Navy, and Chase watched all of the NFL, and I didn't really catch any of it.
Yeah, we did. We got it covered that way.
So it's perfect. Did you know that this is the first Army Navy game to ever go to overtime?
I did not know that. I apparently missed a really good Army Navy game. I was literally just watching The Sopranos for the last 4 days.
So me and Uncle Rico, we gave our picks on this game Saturday morning. So we were on Navy originally, and then the lines flipped. We were on Army +3, a little Army money line sprinkle. Army ends up winning it, but we were also on the over 32. And if you people have been following along, the under in the Army Navy game is on a 7-year stretch of always hitting.
Yeah.
This one would have hit if it wasn't for overtime.
You know, I'm really glad that I didn't watch or gamble on this game because it's no secret that Yo Gabba Gabba Ghoul and Navy unders is quite fond of each other, and that would have just broken my spirit right before Christmas.
Yeah, the under was fine. It was great. It was doing fantastic. And then all of a sudden overtime hits and just touchdown immediately to cook it. And it was all dead.
Speaking of dead, Ken Niamalala is out at Navy too.
Now, is he fired or is he just leaving?
I just know he's out. I know he's not the coach anymore. I think he might be fired. There was a lot of reaction to hating a decision, so I imagine that if people hate the decision, he didn't leave of his own accord.
Fair. Ken Niamatalola has been a weird figure in college football, I'd say, for the last decade, because his draft stock at Navy, I think around 2017, I want to say, couldn't be higher.
Yeah.
And then
he could have taken he could have taken any job he wanted after 2017.
And then it just went lower and lower. Yeah, he was fired. So his record at Navy, 109 wins, 83 losses in 15 seasons.
So it feels like it should have been a dishonorable discharge, but he was fired.
Yeah, I wonder where he ends up.
Is Georgia Tech already hired? Yeah, they already hired their coach.
Yeah, Georgia Tech, they stuck with the interim. Maybe he goes to an FC, a G5 school, another G5. What's another G5 option team?
I mean, he would really fit in the FCS with schools filled with undersized white people.
I want to say, my assumption is he might join the staff on a BYU.
I mean, that makes sense.
He went there, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, as we all know, all Hawaiians know each other and are friends. You
and
racist.
I guess Mormon.
Yeah, also weirdly true.
So we're gonna go through the quick. We'll just do this. This is now becoming a weekly segment on this show. Is the quick coaching carousel roundup and just give. I want one word from each of us on each one of these. So Navy's out. Who do we think Navy hires to start off? Actually,
Bobby Petrino, a man
Boom.
who has honor in his
in
soul.
character.
Yes.
Auburn should hire him as offensive coordinator.
Fucking duh, right?
Stanford, David Shaw out, Troy Taylor in. Troy Taylor was the head coach of Sacramento State. I think it's a decent hire, but I was talking with Eric. He had a little inside information. Apparently, David Shaw left Stanford because I don't think Stanford's doing any NIL shit.
That's crazy when you have Apple, Google, Bing, Ask Jeeves, all of those.
I hear Northwestern isn't really dipping their toes too much into the NIL either.
I mean, it's like a journalism theater school. Like, those people don't have money.
It just makes those schools so much harder.
Yeah, but come on, Stanford, listen. Ask Jeeves has a endless just war chest of money for NIL.
Get that Jeeves money.
Ask Jeeves, we're talking about this, but Ask Jeeves is probably from like Paducah, Kentucky. Quite honestly.
It's probably just a guy.
It's just a guy who used to be a butler who got asked a lot of shit.
It's a legit guy named Steve. So our one of our favorite teams, Western Michigan, got rid of Tim Lester. They hired Lance Taylor, Louisville's offensive coordinator. I'm just like,
Okay, is he bringing Malik Cunningham with him?
No. He did retain Western Michigan's defensive coordinator, which was a win.
Okay.
But,
Okay, so one word for all these, sorry. My one word is meh.
Yeah, both of our words is meh. Jeff Brom leaving Purdue, going to Louisville. Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
I think that's good. I think he's a good coach.
Okay.
Purdue, I don't know who Purdue hires now. Interesting choice.
Lombardi.
You think so?
Yeah, Vince Lombardi.
I thought you were talking about Joe Lombardi.
No, I'm talking about the reanimated corpse of Vince Lombardi.
I think they could go after Chris Creighton from Eastern Michigan. I don't want him to leave, selfishly.
I'll tell you what.
I think he's a really good coach.
Someone needs to go after Seth Luttrell.
You think so? You think someone needs to?
I do. I might be off the North Texas boat now.
You were a big Seth Luttrell guy.
I love Seth Luttrell. Listen, anyone who can pull off a fake punt return,
That's fair.
fake fair catch to make my team look like some damn fools, I'm in their boat.
Is that when you fell in love with Seth Luttrell in North Texas? That was the moment?
Yeah, that and learning that RoboCop was an alum.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Speaking of your team, your defensive coordinator's out. Barry Odom hired to UNLV.
Good for him.
I think it's good. I think he's a decent coach.
Hey, and it puts me even more in the UNLV fan base than
That's
I
right.
previously was.
Keep jumping in there. Kevin Wilson, Ohio State OC, is now the head coach of Tulsa. I think it's fairly good. OC at Ohio State, he seems pretty good.
I'm always skeptical of offensive coordinators from these programs that get nothing but the very best athletes constantly. Like, okay, that's great, but what are you going to do when you don't have Ohio State talent?
That's true. That is true. Scott Satterfield goes from Louisville to Cincinnati.
That's a big. So he left Louisville, but Cincinnati took the L here.
I think Cincinnati is just like, you could have done better, right?
Yeah, Cincinnati is going to be putting a lot of L's up these days.
Like I loved him. His time at like App State was fantastic. But that's kind of a school. It's sort of like a mini school that like sort of takes care of itself.
I kind of love that they just he got fired and they were just like, take your bitch ass across the river, and he had to go to Cincinnati.
Basically. Maybe my least favorite hire of the cycle, Tim Beck to Coastal Carolina.
Listen, like
I fucking hate Tim Beck.
After he did Midnight Vultures, like I really was not as big of a fan of Beck. He got really dark.
He's going in his dark period right now. He's getting really moody.
I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you hire me?
Tim Beck is nothing but a loser. This is the only grade I see on CBS that has an F, by the way.
And CBS is making movies like Must Love Christmas for Sunday night. So that gives you an idea of what the grading scale is like.
No one's up for North Texas yet. That'll be an interesting one. Jamie Chadwell.
RoboCop. RoboCop.
Yes, bring in RoboCop.
RoboCop.
Not the actor.
No.
Bring in like actual
RoboCop. Yes.
Jamie Chadwell to Liberty. I mean, it's a great hire for Liberty, but I feel like this is a lateral move.
That he's one of the lames now.
I both love and hate Dion at Colorado. I love it because I think it's a cool hire. I love Colorado swinging for the fences. I hate that I have to root against Dion.
Yeah, that's going to suck for you. I'm just glad that he didn't end up at Auburn because that would suck for me.
Yep, I have to
and
root against him.
Ultimately, I'm much more concerned about me.
First and foremost on this show, we are selfish. We are self-serving, first and foremost.
Very true. Very true.
Texas State gets GJ Kinney from Incarnate Word. We said good. Tom Herman to FAU, good. Trent Dilfer, confusing.
I'm all about DILFs. All about DILFs. As a DILF, I like DILFy hires.
If we're anything, we're a show for DILFs.
Yes.
Hugh Freeze, we already talked about, man of character and respect and integrity, and fits perfectly at the high-class University of Auburn.
Yeah. They, on those fertile plains, they grow integrity, they grow men of honor, and, armed robbery.
Jeez, I'm just seeing these deals. PJ Fleck at Minnesota now has a 7-year, $42 million contract.
What else? When's the last time Minnesota had something? Like, we're talking the Jerry Kill days was the last time that Minnesota was decent.
They've been decent under Fleck.
Yeah, so they're retaining the one decent coach they've had since, Jerry Kill was having seizures on the sidelines.
I'm trying to see who else has it. There's just other coaches that didn't get fired. Leopold got that extension. Kalen DeBoer, everyone saw that one coming. Mark Stoops, of course, and Dabo extended. Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
I talked about it with Eric. Who was our biggest disappointment of the year?
Biggest disappointment
for college football?
I can't say Clemson, though I want to. Oklahoma has to be up there, right?
They got to be up there. You got to I was seeing a tweet that said Venables somehow leaving Clemson and taking over Oklahoma has sunk 2 programs to new depths.
Right.
I mean, the ones that jump to mind immediately, Oklahoma for sure, like you said.
Yeah.
Miami, because Miami was
Miami.
A top 18 team coming into the season.
Yeah, Miami has to be up there, especially after the Mario Cristobal hire. Yeah.
And don't forget Texas A&M.
Take away turnover chains.
Don't forget Texas A&M.
It might be a tie between Texas A&M and actually it's Texas A&M. It is hands down.
It's Texas A&M for sure. They were a top 10 team coming in. People were sprinkling them for the playoffs. My mama on Twitch had to take Alabama as a big disappointment. I would say disappointing.
I would say disappointing. I wouldn't say biggest upset. They're still going to go to a New Year's Six Bowl.
Yeah, I'm still excited to see how that game turns out. I would say this is a disappointing season for Bama, not just because they lost more than one game, but because of the way they looked throughout the season.
Unimpressive.
The offensive and defensive lines were just unimpressive throughout.
Yeah, just wholly unimpressive for sure.
Now, biggest surprise team, boom, you're good.
TCU.
TCU for sure. I think that's the obvious one.
Yeah. Outside of that,
maybe put Washington.
Yeah, but they did get a big new Penix.
They did get a big new Penix. I think he might be coming back too.
Always good when your Penix rises twice.
If they keep that Penix,
never lose the big Penix.
I think Michigan going undefeated again was a huge surprise.
I don't think it. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that because I think they've kind of shown that they're at Ohio State's level now in terms of talent. I guess because it used to be they just weren't as talented, but they've bumped it up in recruiting. I guess you know what the biggest surprise is that Jim Harbaugh hasn't done something wholly embarrassing yet.
I mean, he might in the offseason. He might say something incredibly stupid.
Yeah, like kind of do his eyes like
I would
and say something in a bad Asian accent.
Mike Norvell at FSU, I think, was a big surprise because
Yeah.
I think coming into the year, everyone thought he was on the hot seat. Everyone was penciling Dion in to like go for that job, and then he just coached like they just got better.
I'll tell you what,
looked good.
A huge surprise for me, Jim. Kentucky making a bowl game. I didn't see that coming.
You know what? I'll scribble them down on the disappointment list.
Good.
How? Also, like it's also just
all right. They were a disappointment to you. They were also a disappointment to me at the same time because they won football games.
It's got to be so defeat. Like they're playing the exact same bowl game as last year, but both teams are worse.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Iowa has to be up there in disappointments.
I can't put any team in the Big Ten West because that whole fucking division's terrible.
Illinois
Illinois
deserves on the surprise list.
I put them on the surprise.
Yeah,
they didn't pull it together at the end, but I mean, put Purdue on the surprise because like this is the first time Purdue won the division and made the championship game.
That's true. But Illinois, I mean, it's not that they didn't finish strong; it's just that they birded.
Yeah, that defense is still good. I will stand by Illinois' defense is still really good.
And as soon as they don't have Danny DeVito's kid playing quarterback, I mean, can you imagine a 4'8" quarterback out there running around?
As a running back, that'd be funny. As a quarterback,
just at any position, a kicker or punter.
A 4'8" running back would be objectively funny.
Yeah. You were talking about low man wins.
Oh, Tulane as a surprise, as a big one.
Duh. Let's go fighting Squid Billies.
They were awful last year. They won like 3 games last year, and then they turn around and lose 2. Surprisingly to Southern Miss for some reason, but also win the AAC.
All bets are off when Frank Gore's kid runs the Wildcat.
That's fair. And now they're favored against USC.
That's awesome. That makes me happy.
I think Caleb Williams, that tells me that Caleb Williams probably isn't playing, but.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm kind of disappointed he won the Heisman.
I don't know. Maybe Duggan.
No, I don't. I think they should have come out. They should have had the ceremony. They should have invited everyone to New York,
and just nobody wins.
And then they would be like, "None of you deserve this year. The book is closed. No one wins the Heisman."
Yeah, it was kind of one of those years where like nobody really.
No one deserved
deserved it.
Yeah, there was no breakout star. There was no Caleb. It was like Caleb Williams, I guess. Like that's what everyone who voted for Caleb Williams to win the Heisman. They wrote Caleb Williams, and then second place they wrote, I guess.
His last 2 regular season games were fantastic, and he schooled Notre Dame, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, and
I'm excited to see him next year.
He got uded so hard.
Like the streak, like if you're a quarterback, how do you just not want to play for Lincoln Riley all the time?
I don't know. His quarterbacks win Heismans. They don't do shit else, but they win Heisman.
They get picked high, so you get money.
Yeah, it's true. It's
like
true.
They get picked high and they win Heismans.
But let's see. Okay, so you win a Heisman. At this point, okay, in college, I guess winning a Heisman could translate to lifelong dollars. But before NIL, back with the Bakers and the Kylers, and all I'm saying is yes, they win Heismans, but outside of Jalen Hurts, like it's not like his quarterbacks do anything.
True, but they do get picked first.
That's true.
And like that's the money thing. Like that's
generational money. True.
Yeah, like that's once you get picked first or like in the top first round, like he could point that as like, hey, look what I did. I'm getting these guys fucking paid.
Which, by the way, we need to talk about Baker's performance whenever we start talking about the NFL.
You want to just start talking about it now?
Are we done with the? Do we want to hit like a video or anything first, or we?
You know what? Let's use that to transition. Let's use the video to transition right here. We've been kind of doing this thing where we pick like a video each week, just to like peruse and talk about. This week, Chase came up with something.
Yeah,
and
I like this
something.
One. It's something. Look, first of all, I thought that the surprise was this white kid could throw hands. Like, look at that. Boom. Nice. And then... Yes. Yes. It only would have been better if he dragged him for several feet afterwards. Like, if he got his legs stuck under the go-kart and then he was dragged.
I'm always a big hit and run guy. That's always like the unforeseen car.
Yeah.
Is always
but how
hilarious.
About this? How about just big ups to little brother for taking care of big bro, who is obviously getting his ass kicked.
He was getting his ass beat.
Like, hold on. Whoa, that's my brother. Someone pull start my car. I'm taking this dude down.
I want to believe that if I saw my little brother getting like tossed outside of a bar and I was like pulling up, I'd probably do the same thing in just like a regular pickup.
Yeah, and, well, I'd actually like to imagine that you would do the exact same thing in a go-kart.
If I had a go-kart, I'd do it in the go-kart. That's just a fact.
I imagine it would be like watching Donkey Kong from Mario Kart.
Just smash into somebody.
Just rolling over somebody on Rainbow Road. I'm sorry. You in a tiny go-kart might be the funniest thing that I've pictured in my head in decades.
That, you know what?
You just Donkey Konning.
I used to want, when I was not that little, when I was like in middle school, like 12, 13 years old, I used to never want a car. I was always like, I just want a go-kart. I don't want a car to drive around town. I want a go-kart. I want to take a go-kart to school. I want to take a go-kart down to the grocery store. I want to take a go-kart to the bar. I still want to take a... Could you imagine pulling up to the bar in a go-kart?
You know, when I was in high school, Johnny Cash has this song called One Piece at a Time. Are you familiar with the song One Piece at a Time? I, in high school, unwittingly came up with the exact same plan to steal a go-kart from Walmart, because they would have go-karts just sitting in front of Walmart, chained up. I was like, I could just steal that bitch, just one bolt, one screw.
I think about shit like this all the time.
How you could just you could get it one piece at a time and it wouldn't cost you a dime.
Like if they're all just plugged in, ready to go to, if they're all like gassed up and they got keys, I'm like, I could just take this.
No. I want to do it the American way. I want to put some work into it. I literally want to take it piece by piece by piece and reassemble it at home.
I would want.
What would happen is I would just have a garage full of individual go-kart parts strewn about, because I do not have the mechanical knowledge to put it back together.
Yeah, you try and like Lego it, where you have all the pieces. And you're like, okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's get to the NFL.
Let's talk about the NFL.
Let's talk about the NFL.
Let's talk about the professional football.
God damn it. I didn't watch any games today. I was so busy with shit.
Let's start with Thursday. Baker.
Baker coming out, baby.
2 days. He's in LA. And then he gets... Then I don't know if it's way to go Baker or LOL Raiders. I think it might just be LOL Raiders.
It could be both.
It could be both.
This is my Baker fandom talking, but it could be both.
It was, hey, fact. You want a fact? Is he's the only Heisman winning quarterback to shake his dick at the Kansas sideline.
That's a fact that'll never die.
Never die.
That'll live forever. That game-winning drive from Baker was beautiful.
I was losing my shit watching it, honestly, because I was like, he's gonna win this fucking game. And like, all right, if I'm Sean McVay, after that game, I have the ball boy send a game ball to the opposing locker room to Jerry Tillery, because he was an idiot. They sack him. Time is running out. It's not going to happen. And yeah, he comes and slaps the ball out of the hand, gets a 15-yard penalty like a moron. And then Bakey Cakes becomes an LA legend. Just...
I would have sent the same thing, but the ball would have LOL in permanent marker on it.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. So, I mean, it was very much a LOL Raiders game because they should have won. I don't know. As much as I like to take credit for my Denver, prognostication, I was really wrong about the Raiders.
I think they should have kept Bisaccia. Every day I see the Raiders, every week I see the Raiders play, I don't think they'd be doing this with Bisaccia as the head coach.
No, but you wonder if he'd still have the same magic. Though
I don't think he would, but I think the players liked him, and I think he's not a complete and utter fool like McDaniels is.
Yeah. Do you have more respect for Bill Belichick now that you realize he's literally been doing everything by himself for like 2 decades now?
I think McDaniels is a good enough OC. I don't understand what it is when he becomes a head coach that everything just falls away.
I think Tom Brady was just a good quarterback.
No, that's probably a better point.
Yeah.
God, he's so bad. He's so
I don't get it.
So fucking
I
bad.
don't get it at all.
You know what this does make me respect Bill Belichick more, and I didn't like it. So it's from nothing to a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But God. Damn.
I mean, I think the person I've grown to respect more out of this than anything else is Steve Belichick.
Yes.
Hit that video. You know I want to see it.
Okay. Let me pull it up. Let me fucking pull it there.
Steve Belichick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just love cocaine.
Steve Belichick.
He's got the eyes and the scrunched nose too.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, he broke bad.
Oh my God. What do we think of the Lions making a potential run?
I feel reinvigorated. The Lions have me reinvigorated. Like, listen, what did I say before the season started? I was like, all right, the Lions are going to be good. They're going to win the NFC North. This is their year. I believe in the Lions. And then they came out and they looked like a gigantic pile of dog shit after I was even more hyped up for fucking, after fucking Hard Knocks, right?
They're doing the dangerous thing, and that's hope. If you're a Lions fan, you have to have hope now, and hope is dangerous.
I think they can do it, man. Listen, they've got the weapons. They have the weapons. They've proven that they can outscore teams. Defense, not so much.
Yeah, the defense is bad, but
yeah,
hey, their offense, it's really good and it's fun to watch. Like that's the best thing about the Lions is that they're fun.
And plus, they got Jameson Williams now. Like
God,
a healthy Jameson Williams 1 year after he tears his knee fucking explodes against Georgia. Yeah, dude. This team is loaded.
Ravens knocked the Steelers out of the playoffs. They're officially eliminated, I believe.
Oh, not only that, we had Tyler Huntley, the backup for the
Lamar.
Ravens for Lamar, get knocked out with a concussion. You had Kenny
Who
Pickett
was playing this game?
I check the box score because I'm not sure who came in for Lamar.
Let me take a look at these stats here. Player stats for the Ravens. Tyler Huntley leaves the game 8 for 12 with 88 yards. Anthony Brown.
Oh, thanks for having the most nondescript name, so we have no idea
Where
who
the
you are,
fuck is Anthony Brown from? Okay, yes, he went to Oregon.
Oh yeah, he was there before. What's his name last year? Or was he there last year?
When did he play at Oregon?
Well, he was there after Herbert, right? Immediately
He
after
must have
Herbert.
been there right after Herbert.
Yeah.
He's older than Herbert, though. Let me see. Anthony Brown, Oregon quarterback. He's 24. So he went to Oregon. He went to Boston College and then Oregon in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah.
So,
like
like,
when we were in
yeah,
Vegas, he was the quarterback.
Yeah, right after old Herbert. But I think he's older than Herbert. So he's 24. How old's Justin Herbert?
Like 23, 22?
They're the same age. They're both born in 98.
That's almost as good as the Stetson Bennett is the same age as Lamar Jackson.
That is, I still
factoid.
love that stat. I still love
Yeah.
that. And
That's
the Steelers
very
had obviously
Brandon
Mitch Trubisky
Weedeny.
come in.
Yeah, the Trubisky.
So the stats for both quarterbacks for the Steelers are Kenny Pickett 0 for 1, knocked out.
Yeah.
Mitch Trubisky comes in 22 for 30 for 276 yards and 1 touchdown with 3 interceptions.
A very Trubisky stat line.
Yeah, he came in, looked just as good as he had throughout the rest of the season.
Just a Trubiscuit of a stat line.
And the Steelers are done.
Steelers are done. They can
I'm
still
pretty
make
sure they're
five.
done.
They can still go 500 though, which is the big thing for Mike Tomlin.
I guess. Are they still? Could they win the division?
No.
I don't.
No,
think so.
no.
I think they're done.
No.
Pretty sure they're done. Browns, Bengals. The Bengals kind of kicked that off their shoulders. Bengals win 23-10. I think this is the first time with Joe Burrow that the Bengals have beaten the Browns.
This is a fact. This is another factoid dropping right now. Damn it, he's just good. He's just good. There's really nothing else you can say.
Good.
He should coach Cincinnati and also play quarterback at for the Bengals. That would have been winning higher, you know.
As good as all the stats are for Joe Burrow, he just has that it factor, that swag that the intangible of intangibles that you just want to root for him. You just believe he can win no matter what.
I'm going to be honest with you. His teeth scare me.
He should scare you.
I feel like those aren't his actual teeth.
He probably got crowned as like a early college kid.
Yeah, that's when you know college kids are going to be stars, is when their teeth get better and their acne clears up.
Bills Jets.
Someone is invested in them.
He's invested in himself, goddamn it. He was probably getting NIL money before NIL.
Yeah, when it was just called business as usual.
When it was just called, oh, here's a McDonald's bag full of $100 bills.
Yeah, it was that bow money. Business as usual.
Bills Jets, Bills 20, Jets 12. Defensive game. Both these teams are pretty good.
The biggest news to me was the hard-hitting analysis of Tony Romo, who I figured out just gives analysis and sound effects. Like, this is a direct Tony Romo quote from this broadcast. And he was like, "Arr!"
I become less of a fan of Tony Romo every week.
He says some funny things. He's very
funny.
He's funny, but he's not good at color commentary because he sounds like he is perpetually playing golf and his putt is just like teetering on the edge of the cup, like in Caddyshack. And everyone's just like,
He's always on that about to come state.
and
you just never release.
Old Vinegar Strokes Romo, who never lets it go.
Tony Romo officially into denial. He's into
just into orgasm denial.
Yes,
he's been a bad boy.
He's a big chastity fan. He's locked up for sure.
He's wearing a full latex suit. He is strapped to the massage table. He's being denied constantly. This Jimnasium is just denying him in the booth.
Jimnasium with the fluffer coming in, just being like, "Oh, here you go, Romo. Do your analysis."
Don't you dare, Romo. Don't you dare. Hello, friend. Don't you finish.
Texans 23, Cowboys 27.
We all, God, I think I described this to you as the retard fight of retard fights.
You did. You said this was like the shortest bus.
This didn't even have room for the wheelchair. No. Yeah, somehow the Cowboys came back and won it. They should have won it with a Michael Gallup touchdown at the end, but they didn't, which hurt my fantasy team, which is trying to jump into 5th place. God damn it.
I don't know.
I didn't watch any of this because who cares?
Who really cares? Eagles beating the Giants 48-22. Jesus Christ.
And it wasn't even that close.
I think they're the first team to secure a playoff spot.
Yeah, I think they've pretty well, unless something just terrible happens, I think they've got best record in the league pretty well wrapped up.
I think it's pretty much locked in. It's pretty insane. The only team they lost to is the Washington Commanders.
That's not sad because Taylor Heineke.
It was not a Carson Wentz.
It was
Washington
not
Commanders.
No one loses to the Carson Wentz Commanders. Everyone loses to the Heineke Commanders. Dude, all right, hold on. Soapbox time. This is why you need to just fire Dan Snyder, get rid of the GM, make sure Dan Snyder, because anybody else worth their salt would have invested in Taylor Heineke. Like, let's start spending. Let's give Taylor Heineke a modest contract, and then save all that money that we would have had to spend on Carson fucking Wentz, who has just proved why you should hate him, like I have since he left Philly. And let's put it in some like superstars around him, and you could maybe fuck around and win the NFC East.
You can
easily
fuck around to do that.
Yeah, man. Not this year. Not this year. Philly's got
Not
that
with this
luck
Eagles
now.
team, but
Yes.
you can fuck around and make the playoffs.
Let's just fuck around, friends. Hello, friend. You'll never hear that the same again.
No,
Hello,
you won't.
friend. And then
just the sound of like leather being rubbed up against.
and things
Jaguars
being massaged with
36.
coconut oil.
Jaguars 36, Titans 22. Fuck.
Oh, can't unsee it. Don't want to unsee it.
I don't want to see. I want to keep seeing it.
Yes, that's a Photoshop that needs to happen. Yeah, Jacksonville kicked the shit out of the Titans. And what? Derrick Henry had like 116 yards by halftime.
He had 121 total.
Jesus Christ.
Trevor Lawrence is actually kind of coming into his own. He's looking pretty good.
Doug Peterson, some sort of quarterback whisperer, it turns out. I mean, he turned Carson Wentz into something.
To an MVP. Chiefs Broncos. Chiefs 34, Broncos 28.
Russ cooked.
Are you sure? You sure about that?
Put up like 32 points in
He
fantasy.
He did.
Yeah.
He
Russ
did pretty
cooked.
good.
He might have more
23 for
touchdowns than
36.
bathrooms in his home now.
3 touchdowns in this game. I think that got him up there. I think he tied.
He now has the exact same number of touchdowns of places to poop in his home.
If
You're only doing the traditional places to poop.
Also the leading rusher on the Broncos. Like, this is the Russell Wilson you want to see. You
Yeah.
lost, but still.
Yeah, this was it. This was the Russ game. Because for some reason Denver always plays the Chiefs close.
Yep. And you saw even a little Brett Rippon sighting at the end. Because I think Russ got knocked out with concussion protocol.
So, yep, that was the one Russ game.
That's it. That's all you get to see. And the Chiefs still pulled it out, even though this was kind of an ugly Chiefs game. We're going to talk about these two together because you had something to say about it. So the Bucks 7, 49ers 35, and the Panthers 30, Seahawks 24.
Yeah. It would shock you to find out that Bucks 49ers was, quote unquote, America's game of the week. And Jim, they did something during the broadcast that I have never seen before watching professional football. They body bagged this game like at the beginning of the third quarter. It wasn't even late in the third quarter. It was like the early in the third quarter, and they were like, let's take you to the much more interesting and compelling Seattle Seahawks Carolina Panthers game. Did you ever think that you would see Tom Brady against the 49ers get flexed out and Carolina with Sam Darnold and Seattle with Geno Smith get flexed in?
I don't think I'd ever would have thought that ever in my life.
Also, I am constantly in awe and shock, quite honestly, at just the sheer size and magnitude of Greg Olson's fucking head.
It's big.
It's a big head.
Both the one on his head and the one at the tip of his penis are probably massive.
Yeah, oh man, that always matches. That is always in like Einstein, big old fat dick head.
Big mushroom head.
E equals MC squared dick. So I mean, yeah, that absolutely, that was just hilarity worth. Also, there was a moment when they were showing Leonard Fournette just sitting on the bench with like this stank face, and all I could imagine was that like Tom Brady was like, "Listen, guys, we're going back to my hometown. I'm going to take you to a really sweet local restaurant," and then they took him to Olive Garden, and Tom ordered for him and made him get the tour of Italy.
The Bucks sit atop the NFC South right now with a record of 6-7.
Yeah.
I think this might be the worst division in the NFL.
My team isn't even Panthers good this year.
Well, I mean, the Panthers are number 2 at 5-8.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
The Panthers have an outside shot.
We could have left that unsaid, but okay.
They have an outside shot to win the division because they already have a game up on the Bucks.
Fucking Christ.
Now, would you rather have the Bucks or the Panthers win?
The Panthers.
Okay, there you go.
The Bucks could maybe get in and win a game. No, I'm here for the lulls. I want
the Panthers would get destroyed.
I want the Panthers with, at this point, I don't know who plays quarterback if Sam Darnold and like PJ both go out.
If they both go out?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the depth chart because I sure as shit do not know without Baker there.
They trade picks back to LA.
I mean, he's on the IR, but it would be Matt Corral.
Matt Corral doesn't care about football. All he cares about is his motorcycle, his band, and his girl.
He's no longer in a walking boot from a September surgery on his foot, but it's Sam Darnold, then PJ Walker, then Matt Corral.
Is Matt Corral the Panthers quarterback of the future?
He's the one that they drafted.
So yes.
We could say yes, but I think the Panthers have they should have a decent pick in the next upcoming one.
Yeah, with probably one of the most meh quarterback classes. Might be even more meh than last year.
Who's the number one guy? It's Bryce Young, right?
And we keep hearing it's Will Levis.
It's Bryce Young, right?
Oh,
it's Bryce Young, right?
Right. That's the thing is like I feel Will Levis has been the guy that they've said is going to be the first quarterback picked all year. I don't see it. I mean, for one, he's not gonna pass the Wonderlick because he puts fucking mayonnaise in his coffee and eats bananas with the peels on.
There's something up with that kid.
Yeah, you don't pass Wonderlicks if you don't know how to eat food like a fucking human. I feel like
everyone will look at his measurables though and just point to Josh Allen. Because Josh Allen didn't really impress in college and had all the measurables, and then look where he is. But I think that's more a testament to the Bills staff. I think if Will Levis ended up on I don't know what's a good if he ended up on the 49ers, I think he'd be great. But I think most quarterbacks would be great on the 49ers.
You don't have to do much to be. I mean, let's look at what Brock Purdy balled out today. Let's be fair.
Brock Purdy's a baller.
Yeah, there was a moment whenever they were up a lot where I think that Shanahan looked at his bench. Was like, "All right, we're up big. Let's put in the backups." Well, never mind. Carry on. You literally are all backups at this point.
Yeah, it's just nothing but backups at this point. Let's see what was the. Okay, we want to play a little mock draft right now for what we see on WalterFootball.com.
Let's do it.
Okay, Houston. They have the Houston Texans selecting Bryce Young first.
By the way, Walter Football, is this a football site administered by a fucking basset hound?
I wonder. I think Bryce Young overall makes sense.
Okay.
He's shown he's really good, and he can make stuff up on the fly. It's unknown how he'll do in the pros. I don't know. But I think he's good.
You just have to. I feel like you got to be so wary of Big 12 quarterbacks now. It's just Big 12 football just isn't pro football.
But SEC though.
Yeah, well, it matters more.
But yeah, he plays in the SEC.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm thinking of Bryce Petty for some reason.
Yeah, you are.
Bryce Petty at Baylor a couple years ago. Yeah, okay. No, I still don't like Bryce Young.
I like him, but it's the same thing we talk about with Ohio State quarterbacks and Alabama quarterbacks. You have all this talent compared to everyone you're playing against.
Whoa. Mac Jones is elite.
The only one that's kind of bucked the trend, I love Tua. I'm a big Tua guy, but he obviously doesn't look as good in the pros as he did in college. The only one that bucked the trend is Jalen Hurts, and that's because he can run like a tank.
Yeah, so
and Justin Fields to an extent, but
here's the deal: is I think that I have the same knocks on Bryce Petty that you had on that I have on Tua, which is durability is going to be an issue because
durability
he's not a big
guy. He's a smaller guy.
Yeah. I mean, can he make the throws? Yeah. Can he run an offense? Sure. But, I mean, what's going to happen whenever someone picks him up and slings him to the ground and he gets the brain scramblies?
Sure. It only takes a couple hits. They have the Bears selecting Will Anderson, the DN from Alabama, which I guess that makes total sense.
Yeah, he's all world pretty much.
He
should be number one.
They got the Seahawks taking Jalen Carter, D tackle. Again, that's kind of a easy pick in my mind.
Yeah.
They got the Lions selecting a quarterback. I wonder how Uncle Rico will think about this. They got him selecting C.J. Stroud.
God. Ohio, when are we going to learn our lesson with Ohio State quarterbacks?
They could look as good as anything in college. Like the closest we had. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a successful Ohio State professional quarterback.
Okay, so we had C.J. Stroud, who in his career has not beaten the one team that it's actually been a toss-up of if they should beat or not.
Yeah.
Michigan. Man, the Big Ten is dog shit.
Hey, they got 3 good teams.
Who's the third?
I think Penn State's a good team. The only teams they lost to this year are Michigan and Ohio State.
Okay. Sure.
I think if you're just going by conferences as a whole, I think the best conferences, in my opinion, top to bottom, might be the Big 12 and Pac-12.
Don't disagree, quite honestly. Yeah. I mean, let it be said for the record that it just means more.
It does mean more. I think they have, obviously, the best team in Georgia.
Yeah, and I think they probably have the best talent top to bottom team-wise, but you're probably correct that when it comes to actual, like, team football playing as teams, the Big 12 and Pac-12, yeah, they had it pretty well on lockdown. Rosie's chiming in. She agrees.
I also just don't think, I'm just never going to be okay with Ohio State quarterbacks. Like, Justin Fields, he could run like crazy, and he's looking great. I'm still waiting to see how that turns out at Chicago, but I don't Ohio State, we have a track record now.
Kirk Herbstreit chokes as a quarterback calling NFL games. Like, I don't understand.
He's great in college, but he just, same. They touch the NFL, it just doesn't work.
It turns to shit.
They got the Eagles selecting Miles Murphy, D-end at Clemson. I mean, makes sense.
Okay.
The only thing Clemson's done great this year is defense.
That's the only players that I would draft out of Clemson would be defensive players.
Oh, you're going to love this one. Carolina Panthers with the 6th pick overall. According to this, are selecting Will Levis.
Yes. God.
Quarterback 2 years in a row.
Talking football are... God, that's just well, I mean, come on. New coach, you always want to get your own quarterback in there, right?
I get it. I
think you clean house like that, you got to get your own people.
I think you tank for another year and then you go after someone in the next draft.
Probably. That's probably the best way to do it. Not probably what they do.
Yeah. They got the Jaguars taking Joey Porter Jr., quarterback Penn State. I think that's a good pick. Penn State's defense has been great.
Oh, I thought you said quarterback. I was like, what?
No, cornerback.
Dude, if Joey Porter Jr., if he's got any of his dad in him, is a dog.
They got the Cardinals selecting Bijan Robinson out of Texas. I think probably the best running back coming out of this draft.
I agree. It's
high for a running back, but whatever.
Hey, but it can pay off.
Yeah, it can. They got the Colts taking Tanner McKee, Stanford quarterback.
What the fuck is wrong?
I think
with
the Colts.
people?
So the Colts are going after their last great quarterback came from Stanford.
Andrew Luck magic.
They're going for the Andrew Luck magic.
Yeah, that's the only thing that explains that.
He's got a good arm. He's got good measurables, but I don't know. Stanford sucks. They got the Falcons taking Jared Verse, DE out of Florida State, and that's really the only other one I care about. That's just the top 10.
Okay. Moving on, I suppose.
I still hate the Steelers are going to take Peter Skoronski, and Northwestern just turns out at least one first rounder at offensive line every year, it feels like.
Jim, do we just want to abandon the NFL now and talk about the list of holiday movies that you found?
Yeah, let's talk about the 100 best holiday, specifically Christmas movies, according to Rotten Tomatoes. Mm-hmm. Let's just go through these real quick and see if we've even seen some of these. So I bet half of these are like Hallmark movies straight to DVD. A Christmas Prince, The Royal Wedding.
Boo.
So synopsis
I own it, in fact, and I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
You own it. Okay, we won't even talk about
Prince,
that one.
Prince had a thriving music career. Why did he ever need to make a holiday movie?
Up next is The Holiday from 2006.
Boo for the name.
2 women, one from America and one from Britain, swap homes at Christmas time after a bad breakup. That's all I'm reading of that.
Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas. Jim. You're an asshole.
It's
We're
got
moving to
Cameron
America."
Diaz, Kate Winslet, Jude Law, and Jack Black.
How is this the most forgettable holiday movie ever made?
Up next is The Family Stone from 2005.
Good one. Craig T. Nelson is a boss.
Yes.
I'm for it. Rachel
Okay.
McAdams is hot. Also for it.
I don't know if... Are they in this movie?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Along with Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yes.
And Dermot Mulroney.
Yes. The Princess...
I could go on.
Up next is a 2021 movie, The Princess Switch 3, Romancing the Star.
Get the fuck out of here.
When a
with
priceless Christmas relic is stolen, royal lookalikes Margaret and Stacy turn to the audacious doppelganger Fiona and
All right, we
her.
need to power through the next 15 or so.
Last holiday, Noel, the Princess switched again. The Santa Claus 2.
Get that bullshit out of here.
The Polar Express, the animated one that looks very Uncanny Valley likes.
Very
It's
Uncanny
creepy.
Valley. Very creepy.
Love Hard 2021. It's not a porno. Not a porno. Falling for Christmas 2022. Dr. Seuss is the Grinch, that one that came out like 4 years ago. The animated one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
California Christmas.
That's got to be like a Hallmark.
It's a Netflix.
Yeah, okay.
Miracle on 34th Street.
Really?
1994.
Oh, okay.
So there's that one.
Yeah.
The Preacher's Wife, also not a porno.
Okay, that's right, because the original was the bishop's wife that had like Jimmy Durante in it.
Yeah, this one's got Denzel, Whitney
This
Houston.
one's got Denzel.
Yeah.
Listen, anything with Denzel and Whitney that's that lowly rated, I call bullshit on. Rotten Tomatoes.
2020, Dolly Parton's Christmas on the Square. Anything with Dolly, I'm just gonna love.
Hey, y'all, this is Dolly Parton. Why does she sound like Adam Thielen?
I don't know why you made her sound like that. Love Actually.
Hey! Love Actually deserves to be way up there.
Yeah, I think so too. The Christmas Chronicles 2. Okay. I don't know
That's the holiday Terminator film.
It's got Kurt Russell, Goldie Hawn, Darby Camp, and Judah Lewis. Okay. Silent Night 2021.
That's a horror film, I think.
I think that's the scary Santa movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
something
not
like
as
that.
which I'm kind of a fan. We need to see Violent Night.
Yes, that's coming out this year, right? That's
Yes,
out
yes, it
right
is.
now. We
Yeah.
should see that and do our little review on that. Krampus from 2015.
Every time I hear about Krampus, I just think of Taco from the League.
I do too, and I just think like Merry Crimbus and all that stupid shit. Home Alone at number 80 is insane. Like the original Home Alone is insane to me.
It makes me think of Dave Chappelle's stand-up when he's talking about the Ukrainians fighting Russians, and he's like they're killing Russians with basically just Home Alone traps. They're touching hot doorknobs like
80's way too low, right?
Yeah, that's a top 10.
It's below the Princess Switch 1.
How did we get the trilogy on this list?
We got the whole trilogy on there. The
Fuck
Night
outta
Before
here.
Christmas, Night with a K. So
No, man. Hell no.
So there, Single All the Way. I want to kill myself based off that title. Godmothered. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
A Very Murray Christmas.
A Very Murray Christmas?
Yeah, with George Clooney, Rashida Jones, Miley Cyrus, and Bill Murray.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was good. I
That was
remember that.
really good. Yeah.
Do you know who it was directed by?
Spike Jones.
Sophia Coppola.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Because she did Lost in Translation.
Yep. A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas. I didn't see this one.
They fucking made that?
I don't remember them ever making this, but apparently they did. The Christmas Chronicles 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Judgment
Scrooged.
Day.
Yes. Scrooged is up here. I like Scrooged.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
I wouldn't have put it higher than Home Alone.
Bill Murray clocking in a lot of work in the top 100 Christmas movies.
Spirited. A modern musical rendition of Charles Dickens' classic holiday, A Christmas Carol. Okay, whatever.
Fuck out of
off.
here.
The Night Before. One of them Seth Rogen movies.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, I like that one.
Really good. Yeah.
At
Because
69.
you had my favorite guy, Michael Shannon, in there as Mr. Green, the weed dealer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
69, I feel like this is too low for this movie. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I think this was a deliberate ploy to get it at number 69.
I mean, if that's the case, then I'm fine with it. The
Yeah.
Best Man Holiday.
Get the fuck out of here.
The Noel Diary. Just go fucking end your life, Charles.
I bet it's about a
Schuyler.
young girl named Noelle.
When best-selling author Jake Turner returns home at Christmas to sell his estranged mother's estate, he discovers a blah, 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 something about Noel, whatever the fuck. Black Christmas, 1974. I think this is a great movie. Good horror movie.
Oh, I thought this was like a blaxploitation film. Like
No.
Dynamite.
This is an OG slasher film. Super like female empowering in the 70s. It's a really good movie.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
I like it quite a bit.
You know the movies that you like scare me.
It's a 70s like slasher. So like if you think Halloween is still scary, I don't know what to tell you, but
Well, I mean, the first time you see Halloween, it's got some
oh yeah,
moments,
yeah,
of
but it's
course.
still like those old slashers. Like,
Sure. It's not like
I love them.
It's not like watching Hostel or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Or say
Banana Splits, maybe.
The Banana Splits, which still haunts my dreams.
A Christmas Prince. So another thing.
Get the fuck out of here with the monarchy and the
I was gonna say
Christmas.
There's a lot of royal family shit for Christmas. What is England smoking?
The monarchy has no place in Christmas.
1969's Frosty the Snowman at number 64.
Too low.
I'm with you
Happy birthday.
there. Guess what? Another one right here.
I
This
quote
one's
that
about
every time
Scotland.
I get naked, Jim.
I can see that.
I just drop my pants. I go, happy birthday.
I
Like a
go-
retarded snowman.
I always say that I tell a lie and then my penis grows. I play the Pinocchio angle. A Castle for Christmas is up next. Another
with this.
royalty bullshit.
All right.
This
Rattle
one makes sense
rattle
for number 62. Lego Star Wars Holiday Special. Banger. Probably a banger.
Probably top 10.
Little Drummer Boy 1968. I think that movie is dog shit, but whatever.
Weird. Yeah.
Get Santa. Fuck off. Last Train to Christmas 2021. No, thank you. Let It Snow 2019. Don't care. A Christmas Horror Story. Just getting right to it. That sounds terrible. That sounds like a movie so bad that I would love it.
Yep.
A Boy Called Christmas. If you're named Christmas, you should just end your life. 8-Bit Christmas up next. That sounds kind of fun.
That actually was pretty good.
Here's the one you talked about. The Bishop's Wife.
Yeah. Who's in that?
Cary Grant, Loretta Young, David Niven, and Monty Woolley.
That's right. It wasn't. I was thinking Jimmy Durante for some reason. No, it was Cary Grant. Okay.
Came out in 1947.
Yep.
This one also seems really low. The Charlie Brown Christmas. I feel like Charlie Brown just kills it with the holiday episodes.
Listen, one more of these bullshit rankings. I think we just put a nail in this episode and say.
Well, up
listen,
next is A
these
Christmas Carol. But the 51 one, I don't know if that's really that great.
Yeah, okay.
The Retaliators. The Retaliators. An
I'm
upstanding pastor uncovers a dark and twisted underworld as he's searching for answers surrounding his daughter. What? That sounds awesome. This
All right,
came
skip.
out in 2021.
Okay, keep going.
I'm adding that to the list. Christmas in Connecticut. That state sucks. A Year Without Santa Claus. White Reindeer.
Whoa.
Sounds racist.
It sucked before Jim Mora got there.
The state still sucks.
Oh, okay, good point.
White Reindeer sounds racist.
It does.
Santa Claus is coming to town in 1970. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer at number 46. I'm just going to skip ahead to the top 10.
Let's go.
Top 10. There's a lot to go here.
In hindsight,
Some of these are
the
bullshit.
top 100 was maybe a bit much.
Okay. Number 10, It's a Wonderful Life. I feel like that should be higher. I'm just gonna
Much
say.
higher. Much higher.
Number 9 is Carol. From 2015. I didn't see it. Number 8 is Die Hard.
I wish that was just a Carol Burnett biopic.
I do too. Number 8 is Die Hard.
Too low.
Number 7 is 2019's Little Women. I guess it's a Christmas movie. Number 6, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I've never been a fan, honestly.
I like it quite a bit. It's not my favorite of those like stop motion Tim Burton sort of movies, but it's fine.
It's my brother-in-law's favorite Christmas movie. And one year, like we were like, it's his first Christmas with us. We're gonna make him feel welcome and watch The Nightmare Before Christmas. I was like, this is fucking awful. Why are we doing this?
Is it also his favorite Halloween movie?
I don't think so.
I do like that it's one of those you can kind of watch for both. That is kind of cool.
True.
Klaus in 2019, didn't see it, but it looked pretty good. This one actually looked pretty good.
Okay.
It was like a hand-drawn animation in the modern style. I liked it. Tangerine, never saw.
Hold on. Tangerine? Was that the one with the she-males?
Yeah, it is.
That movie was really good. That's a Christmas movie?
Didn't think of it as a Christmas movie, but
this
okay.
is people are just, it's like whatever, like a local municipality has a website poll up where you can name something in
It's
the
like
town.
how UCF won the national championship.
And you get a ton of write-ins for like Butt Sex University or things like that.
Yeah.
That's how Tangerine got in there. But you know what? Tangerine has one of my favorite actors in it.
It's a good movie.
Ziggy Sabatka from season 2 of The Wire. I still don't know why I don't know this guy's name, but he's fucking awesome in everything.
Miracle on 34th Street up next.
Yeah, okay.
Number 2, The Shop Around the Corner.
The fuck is that?
I have Alfred, I don't know, James Stewart and Margaret Sullivan are employees at fuck off. And number 1, Meet Me in St. Louis. This is according to Rotten Tomatoes, the 100 best Christmas movies of all time.
I now take the rating of 100% fresh. I'm very skeptical about it now after hearing all of these things that you've just read off.
I am extremely skeptical about it.
Jesus Christ!
I'm gonna read before we head out. I'm gonna read the one that popped out to me the best was The Retaliators. And I'm gonna read the synopsis here. An upstanding pastor uncovers a dark and twisted underworld as he searches for answers surrounding his daughter's brutal murder. Good start. A high-octane original soundtrack and cameos from some of the biggest names in rock music set the tone as this horror thriller reveals a game of revenge played using the new set of rules. Michael Lombardi from Rescue Me, Mark Menchaca from Ozark, and Joseph Gatt from Game of Thrones star. Five Finger Death Punch, Tommy Lee, Papa Roach, The Hugh, Ice Nine Kills, Corey Marks, Escape the Fate, All Good Things and more appear on screen and on the Retaliators original soundtrack.
Listen, you put Papa Roach on any soundtrack and I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in. This movie, I'm going to watch
They had to take this job because it was their last resort.
This movie probably is so bad that it's good, but if anyone who knows me know that I am very much into that.
All right.
I got nothing else. If you want to watch a Christmas thing, I have a Christmas video that we did, but I'm going to show that to Chase afterwards. That's not for anyone else's eyes.
Okay. Sorry, bitches.
I've got nothing else. I think we can talk about favorite like gifts to get and give and whatnot on next week's show when we get closer to Christmas.
I like where your head's at, Jim.
Chase, what do you got going on in life right now?
I'm around.
Yeah, same.
I'm just watching The Sopranos right now.
We're around. I've been catching up on. I've been rewatching Band of Brothers.
I watch Band of Brothers probably twice a year.
Great miniseries. Probably the best miniseries of all time. Love it.
Do you cry at the end of Band of Brothers?
I cry on certain episodes, and then, yes, I also cry at the end.
I cry like a baby at the end of Band of Brothers.
Thank you all for watching. Salute to everyone out there that is watching our show. Our Garage Army, stay strong. Give it a like. Give us a follow. We appreciate you. And we'll see you next week for another episode of the Jimnasium. Bye. Bye.
You know what? Tom Brady's a fucking